Hey, Miami Lakers, we're in our town manager's office, Ed Pidermann. And let me tell you, I know we're going through a difficult time, but there's a lot of optimism in the air. You're starting to see people really work together, especially on the federal level. I think one thing you're starting to see is that people are, regardless of party and philosophy, folks believe that we got to work together because that's the only way we're going to surpass this. And again, quoting our town manager, this too shall pass, but it shall pass working together. So, Mr. Manager, I know you have several very, very important updates for our community. There are a lot of things that changed. There's some new rules being enacted today, and it's very important you all listen in to our town manager. We'll be taking some of the questions, our manager, and I'll be reading them off that you all asked today, but he has some very important information for you all this afternoon.
Yeah, I wanted to we understand that the most important thing for our residents is information. So we're going to try and bring these informative pieces to you as often as possible. We're hoping to do one a day or at least one every weekday and can make you completely aware of what's going on. I wanted to bring you up to speed on two declarations that were issued by County Mayor Carlos Jimenez. One is that he closed all the parks, beaches, and recreational facilities. So for us here in the town of Miami Lakes, that means that all of our parks will be completely closed. Originally, we had only closed the buildings and the parks were available for people to go for casual play. But now, based on this declaration, we are required to close the parks. That also includes all of our tot lots. So soon, it's quite an ordeal. We have to go through and put signage on them. We're going to make it obvious so anybody who comes up and hasn't seen these messages will know that the parks are closed. Also, the next one was Mayor Jimenez also went ahead and closed some more businesses. All non-essential retail and commercial establishments, but he exempted certain kinds of businesses. Healthcare providers like the hospitals and doctors, pharmacies, grocery stores, convenience stores, any of the media outlets, so the Miami Laker will continue to be able to be printed, gas stations, banks, hardware stores, contractors will continue to be able to work, mailing and shipping services, any of the private colleges, but only the private ones that in order to facilitate online and distance learning, laundromats, restaurants, those will continue to be open. Also, office products. Anybody selling office products, so those of you who are required to work from home, you'll be able to still be able to purchase office products so you can continue doing that from your house. Anybody who's shipping and delivering groceries and food, transportation providers, like airlines, taxis, etc. Any home-based care for seniors, they can continue to function, ALFs. Professional services like legal and accounting. I know we're in the middle of tax season. Landscape and pool businesses, we want to make sure that the pools are continuing to be maintained. We don't want to create a sanitation hazard. Any child care facility, they'll be able to continue working. There are some parameters with how many students they'll be able to care and the ratios. Pet supply stores, logistics providers like warehousing and trucking, telecommunications providers. Anybody selling propane or gas, they'll be able to continue. Any open construction sites, they'll be able to continue to build. Architectural, engineering, and land surveying, that'll continue. Any factories and waste management companies. And also, any business that is interacting with customers solely through electronic and telephonic means and delivering products via mail or shipping or delivery service, those will be able to continue functioning. Now, earlier this afternoon, just a short while ago, I signed an extension of the declaration of a state of emergency. Last week, we signed the original one. It was valid for 7 days. Today it was expiring at 5 p.m. And earlier this afternoon, I went ahead and signed that extension for another 7 days. One other thing that I want to bring to your attention, you'll see that we'll have a little more information about this and the details about it tomorrow. We're going to change the workflow of the people coming into town hall, especially as it relates to going into our building department. We're going to transition the building department to still a full service department, but a non-contact web and email based system. The exact details of that we're still working out, but you'll hear more about that tomorrow, and it'll probably start effective Monday. So I just wanted to keep you up to date as to some of the changes that are happening with the federal, state, and county governments and the declarations that they've issued. But I also want you to know some of the more specific things that we're doing here at Town Hall.
So thank you, Mr. Manager, and I know we start a little earlier today because we want to make sure we get all your questions. The manager just laid out what's going to happen starting today at 9 o'clock, correct?
Yeah, it started this morning at 9 a.m. It was effective.
So let's make sure we follow that. If you have any questions and you're watching live and you missed some of that, let us know. The manager will go back and kind of answer your questions. But there are some questions that you guys had asked. Mr. Manager, Alicia Zelaya is asking, is anything being done to sanitize the parks? Lots of people going out, and it would help to have them clean periodically. And I think Jackie and JP Garcia, they agreed and said that sanitation before the parks reopen is good. So what's the game?
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, what's happening based on the declaration by Mayor Jimenez is that the parks will be closed. So prior to them reopening, when this outbreak starts to subside and we're able to reopen the parks, we're going to do a complete cleaning of all of the facilities, indoor facilities, outdoor facilities. We're going to completely sanitize them. So we don't want to give this virus a second chance to reinvigorate itself.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, and I hope that answered your question, Alicia and Jackie and JP. Paola Les Borjas has a question. Do we have any known COVID-19 cases in Miami Lakes?
No, right now there are no suspected COVID-19 cases here in the town of Miami Lakes. Definitely none of our employees and no residents of the town are suspected of being positive for COVID-19.
We had another park question from Zeta Pando Edwards, who thought the parks were closed as of tonight, and I think the manager just explained the water. I don't know if you want to repeat it one more time so they can...
Yeah, officially the declaration started as of this morning. It's not an easy thing to close all of our parks. We have over 100 parks. So our park staff is doing an incredible job. We worked today to develop the proper signage so that people are aware of it. People may not be paying attention to the news. They may not have access to these briefings that we're providing. So we developed signage. We're going to also make it very obvious with some kind of a caution tape so that people, when they walk up to the park and the tot lots, they'll know that those parks are closed due to this crisis here.
So we had a couple more questions. Just remember before we finish, if you have anything that you don't understand, let us know and we'll be able to answer it. Barbara Reyes, Mr. Manager, is asking, do you know if our local supermarkets are having early hours for seniors or high-risk people with underlying conditions?
Yes, in fact, I know Whole Foods is not here in the town, but I know that Publix released some information earlier today that they are going to have hours specific for seniors. So go to Publix's website. I think it's Publix.com, and they'll be able to have it there. Once we get it from Publix, we're going to put it on our website. So we'll blast that out. But there is, as of today, Publix announced that they were going to have some time that is specific for senior citizens to be able to go and shop.
So thank you, Mr. Manager. I don't see any other questions coming in from oh, you know what I do? Dulce Matamoros just asked if Optimus Park is open, and I think the manager just provided that.
Yeah, all the parks, the big parks, the little tot lot parks, everything is closed, unfortunately, and that's as a result of the declaration by County Mayor Jimenez.
Hope that answered your question, Dulce. I don't see any other questions. Miami Lakers will look through all of our different stuff here. If we got to get back to you and answer your questions, but the manager's making himself available. I'm available. I think you heard what's going on. He's working very hard with our entire staff to make sure that all the information gets to our residents. I know we're all listening to the news, this and that, but they've compiled a website that gets the source directly from the CDC and the Florida Health Department, which is miamilakes-fl.gov/coronavirus. So go visit that site. They worked very diligent to get that out there. There's going to be some changes here at Town Hall, as you heard, but we're going to continue protecting your interests, making sure that we work with you all. And one more thing, I just want to reiterate it. I really think you're starting to see, as much as this is a negative, right, there are some bright spots, and I think you're starting to see everybody, regardless of party, I mean, even from the federal level, which is truly amazing, working together for the first time in a long time to make sure that Americans on the federal level, on the state level, county level, and the local level, we're all doing the right thing to make sure we get past this as soon as possible.
Yeah, Mayor, one last thing before we sign off. I want to make sure that all of our Miami Lakers are well aware that even if we have to shut down Town Hall, we're gonna, through technology, we're gonna be able to continue servicing our town residents. We're developing a strategy to be able to continue answering phones. Our email system is gonna be up and running. We're not gonna disappear, so even if we have to shut down Town Hall and send our folks to isolate at home, we're gonna be able to continue serving your needs, and that's always at the top of our list. So we're developing those strategies, and if we have to do that, you're still gonna be, your needs are still gonna be met.
So our manager is fully focused on customer service, and I see there's more questions that just got asked, and we're gonna make sure we get to them real quick. Giselle Fernandez asked, what about Salon Studios?
I'd have to look at the list. Salon Studios, I think, are on the list to close. I'm almost sure Salon Studios, barber shops, and all of the beauty type places, nail salons, all of those places are all slated to close.
Got it. And I think I see another one here, and some folks are answering. Mabel Fatima Ramirez said, asking if restaurants are still open. Is that just for pickup or eating? The manager had a great message yesterday on.
Yeah, obviously the restaurants, that's been something that's been in place for several days now. Restaurants for dine-ins, to be able to go to the restaurant and sit down and have your meal, it's closed for that purpose. But all of our restaurants here in the town of Miami Lakes have done an incredible job of transitioning to a takeout and delivery model. And they have worked with all of the different services, whether all the delivery services. Some of them have opened up windows to be able to have you go and do takeout. All of them have done a great job. And please, the owners of these restaurants and all of these cafes, they're our neighbors. They're the owners, the employees, they're all people that live here in the town of Miami Lakes, or your next door neighbor. Please, if you can, if your household budget allows for that, shut down your kitchen for a night, make an order, takeout or delivery, go and make sure we keep these businesses here in Miami Lakes.
And I know some folks just got in, and the manager had answered it before. J. Kim, no virus cases in Miami Lakes, right, Mr.
Correct,
Manager?
no virus right now. Now, obviously, that may change, but right now, there are no suspected cases here in Miami Lakes, and hopefully if the isolation and the social distancing works, we'll be able to avoid that.
Got it. I think I don't see any other questions. So great job, everybody. Great job to our staff, really working hard. Miami Lakers, we will get through this, especially working together. If you see a neighbor who is elderly and needs some more help, you could call us. I know we're working with our partners in the county to make sure that those folks are being taken care of. Anybody that needs any extra help, reassurances of whatever we got to do, we're here to serve the public, and let's keep working together. Because, Mr. Manager, you want to use your, tell them what your slogan is for
This too shall pass. And as the mayor said a little while ago, this will pass, but we can all make it pass easier and quicker if we all follow the guidance of the medical and emergency management professionals.
So take care, Miami Lakers. Reach out to us. You can email the manager, myself, and you can call us at 305-364-6100. That's 305-364-6100. Take care, and let's keep working together.